Hello.
Hey, this is your girl, Chidi Akunna.
And this is your G, Victor Akunna.
If you're new to our YouTube channel, Foundation for Family Affairs, please subscribe and turn on the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content. And to every returning subscriber, I would like to say thank you.
Thanks
for engaging with us. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your thumbs up.
Thank you for your thumbs up.
We appreciate you. We see you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And at Foundation for Family Affairs, our mission is simple. To connect hearts and raise healthy families.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll be talking about something really, really practical and interesting today. Managing sexual temptations during courtship.
Absolutely.
Now, this has come to us in many ways in our inbox. We've had people ask this question in different ways. And when people come on our coaching program, Intimacy Builder program for singles, as they finish, okay, some of them go on to find their significant other. They contact us and say, oh, I don't understand why I have to feel like this. Okay, so we just thought, okay, let's do this topic. We're sure it's going to help a lot of people out there. You want to say something?
Yeah, so let's just start by saying what exactly is courtship. Is that period where after you've gone through, you guys have asked each other out and have been an asking and an acceptance, or a proposal and acceptance.
Yes.
Both of you have decided you're going to work towards marriage. So is that time that often exists between the time you are engaged to the time you eventually get married. So that window is a window where you begin to decide, begin to make a lot of plans. So there are, during that time, because you are sexually attracted to each other, you've already decided you're going to get married anyway, sometimes there can be an great level of intensity. That's the word. Great level of sexual intensity. So how do you manage that? For someone who has, both of you have decided that this is the kind of want to keep a clean dating, a clean courtship, rather, all right, and want to move towards marriage. So if this is you, if this is what you have decided to do, then this video is for you. We're going to be sharing with you some tips that's going to help you to keep your relationship right, build the right foundation, because courtship leads you to marriage. It's what you do at that phase. It's going to have a lot of impact on your marriage, because every phase leads to the other.
That's right.
That's what I like to
That's
say.
right. Okay, and when we say how to do it right, okay, we're just saying how to do it God's way.
Absolutely.
All right. Sex was created by God.
Yes.
And when God created everything He created, He said it is good.
Yeah.
Right. So sex is good, but it must be within the boundaries of marriage.
Absolutely.
So when we say doing it right, it's you doing it the way God wants it done.
Absolutely.
Doing it within the boundaries of marriage. So once you believe that you're walking, expecting that, we will wait till marriage. Okay, so if that's you, then you may want to watch to the end. We have some interesting points.
Absolutely.
And the first one we have to share with you today is you need to know yourself. Okay, you need to know your sexual expectations. You need to know what your triggers are.
Know your sexual triggers. Discuss your history with your spouse. By that I mean, doesn't mean pour the whole thing. Oh, I've had 2 million abortions. No, that's not the kind of discussion. So have a kind of what we call progressive disclosure, whereby you'll be able to know that from whatever you examine your history, you know the things that trigger you easily. For some guys, you might be looking at a lady's legs can trigger them sexually. For some guys, it might be seeing cleavage. So there are different things that trigger different. So when you know yourself, you now begin to say, you know what, and I will do my best to avoid situations like this that will put me in this kind of situation, right? Because of course, like Socrates would say, man know thyself. All right. If you cannot manage yourself, cannot manage your emotion, cannot be help yourself to be self-disciplined, there's very little you can do, because I think like the scripture says that he that cannot rule his own spirits, all right, is like a city that is broken down without walls. He that cannot rule his own spirit, that cannot rule his emotion, is like a city that is broken down without walls. In other words, the person is vulnerable to all kind of access, and you don't want that to be you.
So when we say know yourself, you may need to discover yourself again.
Absolutely.
I had this friend who, when she was engaged, said to me that she couldn't believe that. She was always thinking that, when they say love languages and they say touch, it's one of the love languages. And when they say touch, she'll say, oh, Lord, touch is not my thing. And then she got into a relationship, she got engaged, and then realized that she was also touchy, clingy, wanting to be cuddled. And that was like her beginning to realize, oh, okay, I'm the one even dragging this. So alarm bells went off. Okay, so know thyself.
Know thyself. Another thing I want to add to that is that know the kind of situation, the kind of environment that triggers you. When you know yourself, you'll be able to put the right measures in place.
Okay, this will make more sense as we go into the next point. Okay, which is create your relationship DNA.
Absolutely.
Now, what are we talking about? When I get to know myself, of course, I would know the kind of things. Now, that even takes us back to how we started, the kind of relationship I want. Okay, the kind of, how do you want to do this relationship? Do you want to do it God's way? If you're decided on that, hopefully you've met someone who has such values.
Yep.
Okay, so as we come together, then as you come together, you need to then agree on, you need to talk about these things, okay, and agree on what you want going forward. So that's you deciding, okay, let's create our relationship DNA. What will characterize our relationship?
Absolutely.
How do we want to do it?
Absolutely. It's very important for you to define. For us, who were able to define our relationship when we started dating, we knew we are moving towards marriage, and so everything we were doing, we were trying to replicate how our marriage will run. All right. So I remember sometime when we had some disagreement, I made sure that we would not move on to the next phase until we address those issues. So you must be able to. That's why I said the courtship phase is the building phase for marriage. All right. So you have to begin to set in place some kind of value systems. Okay, we're not going to do this. These are the boundaries. We're not going to do, you need to define the DNA. Your DNA is something that is unique to you. It's not going to be like any other person. It's unique to you. It's your unique identity code. All right. So what you're going to make your relationship unique, and that's what both of you are bringing to the relationship, because no two marriages are going to be the same. So what will make your marriage different? Even though you are coming from a home where your parents had a very successful marriage, it's not going to be your marriage. Your marriage is going to evolve out of that, because you're going to create your own unique nation, because we think family is a nation, and that's one key thing. Yeah.
An example, okay, the kind of marriage you want. We want to believe that you want a marriage where there is trust, where you have this trust between you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it would start from courtship. Okay, if we have to dabble into sex, do certain things, when we get married, there's the tendency that suspicion will be on the increase.
Yes.
Because you just be wondering, if she could give in so easily, then what guarantees that she would not, though married, okay, with somebody else? You see, suspicions, and that's not what you want.
Yes.
So when we say this is preparatory for marriage, it should be taken really, really seriously. Yes.
We're going to do a video on that, on why we have this stance as regards not having sex before marriage. It's not just for a spiritual reason.
Yes.
There are practical reasons why we have that stance, and couples we've worked with, we've done a lot of statistics to see those who engage in sex before marriage and those who did not. What are the differences, and how are they living post-wedding?
So if you haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe now and turn on your notification bell so you notified when we drop that.
Absolutely.
Okay, next point, boundaries.
Yes.
And in talking about boundaries, we will share it into two parts.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So the first one, internal boundaries.
Yes.
Now this is about you, okay? Those things in there. What gateways are you opening? What doorways are you opening? What do you read? What do you listen to? When we talk about these things, sometimes we take them for granted. But as you keep listening to these words, to such things, as you keep dwelling on such things, they get you charged up.
Yeah.
Okay, so what may happen is out of the abundance, okay, when the heavens are full, you give off rain.
Absolutely.
Right? So because you're so full, when you meet your significant other, because of course, as expected, there will be some level of compatibility between you.
Absolutely.
All right? You're so comfortable yourself. So you may want to begin to try certain things, which would lead to some other things. Okay, and that's not what you want at the end of the day. So keep those doorways closed as much as possible. Set boundaries. What do you expose yourself to? You need to be aware of those.
We need to know that the mind is the number one sexual organ.
That's right.
Your mind is your number one sexual organ. In other words, whatever you're going to try to find, whatever you will be trying to express, is a function of what you've already deposited into your mind. And there are two main gateways: what you see and what you listen to, what you hear. All right. So the music you listen to, the kind of music is good. Music is lovely. Music is fantastic. Helps you to relax. Somebody says the food of the soul, but it depends on the kind of music you listen to. There are music whose the lyrics are really sensual, that program you in a certain way, program you to think in a certain way, program you to. By the time your emotions are charged, there's no how you're not going to find an outlet for you to be able to express this. It's to happen, even though you think yourself that, oh, I'm strong, you might think you're strong, but you don't know until you find yourself in some situations. You'll be amazed at yourself. All right, because these desires are put there, divinely put there, and they will express themselves when they are charged. Okay, so mind what you listen to, mind what you say to yourself. All right, mind what you view online. All this play a role, all right, in creating that energy. That's why we said create boundaries, your own internal boundaries, because if you cannot manage yourself, again, you can manage other people, you can manage a relationship.
That's true. A certain lady reached me at one point, and she said to me, "Oh, Chidi, I feel like a teenager who is almost exploding." Right, those were her words. Like she was feeling really erotic. Now, as we began to explore it, we realized that, like I was saying earlier, herself and her fiance had reached a very comfortable stage, so they were free to discuss things. So by the time we started exploring the kind of things, there were exchange of things like, oh, okay, some content, lewd content. Okay, we're gonna do this when we get on. Now it was harmful because at that point they were far from the wedding date, okay, which we'll be talking about later. So such things, such content should be avoided, because you don't want to be so charged up and there's no outlet. The risk in that too is that if there's no outlet, yes, because you have your stance, you do not want to consummate your relationship. All right, you may then be moved into masturbation, which you do not want. That's another thing. Yes, so let's just keep it clean. It's a very sensitive period. So it matters what happens then.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So the next point is external boundaries. Now this is where we would you need to take practical steps. Okay. If you've found yourself kissing, fondling yourselves, it might be time for you to start meeting in public places.
Yes.
Okay. You need to stop meeting in private places. Yes. Get that proactive. Otherwise, you'll go through with it before you know it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Excuse me. So you need to start meeting in public places. Some people might then, like I had a friend who said, oh, I want to go on holiday with him. It's okay if you want to go on holiday, but how about going as a group? Okay, you can find other friends who are engaged, who share the same faith, the same values. Yes. Okay, so because what you don't want is you get there and then because they're coupling, then you're tempted to let's share a room. After all, it'll be cheaper.
Yes,
things like that. So this is you being hard on yourself, being proactive. Okay, taking steps to limit temptations.
Fantastic. It's very important for you to be able to create those external boundaries, and you need to discuss with each other. I'm struggling in this area. Help me. When you come and you look this way, when you use this, you just makes me, when you come early in the morning, when you stay till this time, discuss, be vulnerable with each other, so that your spouse can help you. All right. So because everyone's temptation, is different. Temptation is customized. All right. What will somebody else be tempted with is not somebody else. For somebody else, the person just walks over. Some people are tempted by seeing someone's money. They can't do, but they take it. Somebody else will see somebody's money. They won't take a dime, even if they are dying. They will give you the exact note you gave to them. So people's temptations are different. So once you know your own temptation around this issue, discuss it so that your spouse can help you to be accountable. And as a group, as a team, both of you can also be accountable. You can find an accountability partner, maybe a more senior, couple that you respect. They can, hold you guys accountable. Okay, we are going out on a dinner, we're going to be back at this time. The person can call and check up on you guys. You know,
have you left? Are you home yet?
Absolutely. You know, people that will help you. The moment you set the goal, like there's a Chinese proverb that says, when the students are ready, the teacher will appear.
That's right.
When the students are ready, the teacher will appear. In other words, when you are ready to get a goal accomplished, all the people, the resources that you will need will come to you. Well, so the issue now is you have to decide. You don't wait for the decision to come from outside, someone putting pressure on you. You have to decide, this is what we want in our relationship. God help us. And then you get to see help. That's when you stumble on a video like this. That's when you hear people. No, so resources to begin to come at you. It's a mystery of life. You have to decide first.
I like the point on accountability partner. That's really big, okay, and something you may want to explore, especially if you've had some challenges. Okay, we've seen people who will say, because they wanted to keep it clean, they would meet in the homes of their accountability partners. Okay, especially if it's maybe late in the evening and they want to talk, they'll meet there. So when it's getting late, they're like, okay, it's about time, we should be going home. And then they call to be sure that you're both home. So you may want to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay? And by all means, just look for what works for you.
And if your spouse is telling you that they struggle with something, don't make light of it. Yeah, I don't discount it. Thank you. Accept that and let them, help them with that. So don't say, because that's not your own temptation or that wouldn't tempt you. It's like, some people, for example, don't mind sleeping on the same bed, but some people, their body touching somebody else, set electric shock all over the place. So they would rather not be in that space. So respect that and create an alternative.
Do not start saying, why are you so weak? What's wrong with me lying with you?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to respect that. Okay, so the last one, which is a big one, set a wedding date.
Yes.
Set a wedding date. That just helps you, okay? Because we know there's something we're working towards.
Yes.
Okay. I know closer to the time you'll be preparing for the wedding, or maybe before then you can explore other things, because courtship should be a period of getting to know yourself, really. Okay, so you should be asking, are you in debt? How will we run our finances? How are we going to run our home? When the children start coming, how are we going to parent them?
Absolutely.
There's so much to talk about.
Where are we going to live? Are we going to relocate? Are you going to change career? How are you going to increase our income? What kind of investment? We had a discussion when we started. I remember what she was wearing. I remember where we sat. And when we made a financial plan, how much we want to earn, what we like to do in the future, everything we've talked about, we're doing at the moment. I'm telling you. So you have to give your marriage a purpose. You have to give yourself a purpose. So you have to give yourself a direction. Otherwise, anything goes. Any country or any place where there is no rule of law, where anybody can do anything, it's a state of nature. Where, anything goes. No, you don't want that kind of to be your relationship. So set a wedding date. Once you have a wedding date, you have an expectation, you have something you are aiming towards. All right, like I like to say, can you imagine playing the game of soccer or football, like they call it in England, soccer in America, football here, where you begin to, without goalposts, and people are just playing and just playing and just playing. It's going to be very hilarious,
You have to have the goalpost.
You have to have a goalpost so you can measure. Yeah. So even no matter how much you like to dribble, you like to play to the gallery, you have one goal. You need to score. It's either you are scoring or you are assisting the process of scoring. If you are not doing that, you're probably going to be benched. And that's how people, get benched sometimes. All right. So you must have a focus, something both of you are working towards. Yeah. It helps you to keep busy. To have something in your plan, but you don't have time for some things. Yeah.
Yes, and someone might be asking, what if, for reasons beyond our control, our wedding has been postponed? Yes, get busy. Okay, don't stay idle.
Yes.
Okay, as you get busy, there are a lot of things. Do you want to write a professional exam? Go on and write it.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to move on to the next phase in your career? Just go on and carry on.
Fantastic.
Right?
Pursue your hobbies.
Yes, don't stay idle, because it's when it seems like we have so much time, we begin to dabble into things we would not want to.
Yes.
So yes, let's
fantastic.
Right. You want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was going to just round off, that this has been an amazing session. So if you want to join our Intimacy Builder program for singles, we have it, it's an 8-week program. After the 8 weeks, we'll give you an additional 4 weeks where we'll kind of work together, just give you feedback, further support you. or you want intimacy builder program for engaged couple. These are the people who are actually speaking to. You found a person. Now you guys want to work together. So we want to help you, someone that will help you work out the different issues, the different areas where people often have conflict. Those kind of some people are afraid of marriage. They feel like I may not be able to do well in marriage. The reason why you think you'll not do well because there are issues that you have seen and you don't want it to be your own experience. So rather than walking away from it, learn how to deal with them. So we give you the tools and the knowledge to be able to help you to deal with that. So rather than saying, oh, I'm afraid of swimming. If you push me to, I'm going to drown. No, don't be afraid of swimming. Learn how to swim. So when they push into it, you just glide. And that's how to manage life. Don't run away from challenges. Take it head on.
Yes, and we'll finish this without letting you know that it is possible. It is possible to go through courtship onto marriage, keeping it clean. It is possible. There are a lot of testimonies, and we hope yours would be one.
Fantastic.
Okay, so don't see it as difficult. See it as doable. Okay, and just keep your eyes on the goal. You will get there.
Absolutely.
We'll cherry you on. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Okay, and then until we come your way again, it's goodbye from us.
Bye.